Listen up to this lesson as it's extremely important for your life. This is review of step number 54 of the 67 steps, and it was called Chess-like Assiduity in Armchair Meditation, the real use for deep thinking. And Charlie Munger, recently deceased but one half of Berkshire Hathaway, was asked by someone, what does it take to be successful? And he said, you have to have assiduity. And what he meant was you have to put your ass in a chair and think. Now perhaps he was also referring to reading, but that's not the actual dictionary definition of the word assiduity. The one I found was bringing constant attention to what you're doing. And Ty's second mentor, Alan Nation, said you gotta sometimes take a break from the rat race. You gotta work on the business and not just in the business. Some people are so busy with what Ty calls flurries of activity that they never take a step back to see if they're actually making progress. They just feel like they're getting a lot done because they're always moving around, but they're not actually getting anywhere. And so this is about avoiding the two possible extremes. That's one extreme, always busy but never taking a step back to see the big picture. And then the other extreme is people that are always planning but never executing. And remember, nature seeks balance, so the answer is usually somewhere in the middle. Don't always be busy and never planning, but don't always be planning and never executing. And this lesson gives you kind of a practical suggestion on how exactly to find that middle ground. Ty gives the idea that the practical suggestion that just about every single day, you need to purposely spend 5 to 15 minutes in a quiet room, sitting in a chair, undistracted, strategically thinking of your next moves that you're going to make in life. And this is not meditation. Meditation, generally speaking, is removing thought. This is about purposely injecting strategy into your life, and kind of like taking the sculpture or the painter approach. A painter or a sculptor gets into the fine details of their art, but if they really want to make progress and be efficient with their time, every once in a while they purposely put the paintbrush down, take a step back, and see if their sculpture is heading in the right direction. And if you don't do this in life, unfortunately you'll probably succumb to one of the cognitive biases, specifically number 17, which is stress influence tendency. If you don't plan, then unfortunately what's going to happen is the current of life is going to drag you where you don't want to go. And if you remember back to lesson number 23 that I reviewed about Joel Salatin, his dad was flying a bomber in World War II and needed to land on an airstrip, but right when he was attempting to do that, a storm came through and was blowing the plane from side to side. And he looked to the instructor and said, I know I'm supposed to land over there, but the plane's being blown off course. I don't think I'm going to make it. And the instructor said, no, son, you have to make the plane go where you want it to go. It's not going to go there on its own. And, this is a very practical suggestion in this episode. And the key thing is, because what you're doing in these focus sessions is you're looking to solve problems, and the key thing is to just focus on one problem at a time. Ty uses that expression a lot by Confucius: the man who tries to catch 2 rabbits catches none. So each session only focus on solving one problem in your life, specifically in the areas of health, wealth, love, and happiness. He gives the practical suggestion that you should prioritize whatever is least going well in your life in those 4 areas. And he gives this really cool suggestion too that's kind of an alternative to just thinking strategically, but along the same lines of solving problems in your life. He says what you want to do is ask why 3 times. So for example, if you're not in good shape, you want to ask yourself, why am I not in good shape? and then get the answer to that question and give an honest answer. Maybe you say, well, I don't exercise. Okay, well then why don't you exercise? Oh, okay, I don't like it. Okay, why don't I like it? Well, I haven't tried enough exercise routines to find one I like. Okay, well, why haven't I? So you can see that this is about drilling down to get honest answers to your problems and find solutions. Because remember, without solutions, your life will go down fast. And this whole technique is about digging yourself out of a hole and making sure you're always heading in the right direction. And of course, this may feel hard at first. Certainly sitting down and focusing is what a lot of people can't do. So the key thing always is to form the habit. If nothing else, just do this for 1 minute per day and then get up and go back to what you were doing. But it's about the habit forming and doing it every day. The frequency is more important than the duration when you're building habits. And Ty says, by doing this, you will find solutions to your problems. This is very important and it will change your life, because what this is time incubating good ideas. If you ever read the book Where Good Ideas Come From by Stephen Johnson, he explains that you need time to let your mind be a kind of incubator and let many ideas come together, and that's what this kind of focus session is. So the questions for you at the end of this lesson are, what's the number one reason you've never done this before? Where are you going to do this? And what's the number one problem in health, wealth, love, or happiness that you should confront today? Thanks so much for watching on CM Review number 55. Take care.